So welcome everybody. Another month has passed us by. We'll get in depth into why we're using the numbers that we're using for this month. Obviously the hurricane. So let's go ahead and get into things here. All right. Again, sorry for the delay to everybody. Obviously, business wasn't running its normal course. It's taking me a few weeks here to normalize a little bit. And of course, there is going to be no video for next month. It's not going to make any sense at all to use the closed sales that came out in September because there weren't really any. And then I think extra things are going to get piled into October. It's probably going to skew things to the upside the following month. So I'll remind everybody of that when we go to do next month's video, or a video 60 days from now approximately. So again, storm messed a lot of things up, but hopefully we'll kind of get back to normal here in the November month. Anyways, let's go ahead and dig into some of the numbers, or all the numbers, starting of course with the number of closed sales. So if we look year over year, we went from 144 down to 131. So that was a 9% decrease in sales year over year. It is a bit concerning, especially when you came off 157 sales the month before. The bright spot that I can say for sellers, year over year, how long has it been that we've seen the number of active listings just seem to keep rising? And finally here, I think we're getting a little breathing room. So we're flat year over year with the number of active listings on the market. Again, would really have liked to have seen more sales occur so that at least our months of inventory would have gone down and start chipping away a bit at this. But for right now, this is how we look. I guess if you're looking for a bright spot and you're a seller, the number of new listings that came to market year over year dipped from 284 to 260, so an 8.5% decline. Conversely, if you're a buyer, you might want to take note here. Not a whole lot of sales went on during August. There weren't going to be any sales really taking place in September, again, largely due to the hurricane. But if you're a buyer, this is a really good time to jump into the market. There's a lot available. Again, I've given this warning 100 times over. I'll say it again to you. It all depends what price point you guys are shopping in. The lower dollar price points just isn't a whole lot of inventory. Higher dollar price points is more inventory. So please, if you're a buyer, you want to talk about what different price points look like for the market that you're in, please give me a call. Condos and single family, even in the same dollar price point, are a totally different animal. So a very segmented market that we have going on right now, but this does benefit you if you're a buyer right now. Let's roll over to average price per square foot. Again, if you've been reading my blog or now watching it for a while, you know my warning with this is that if there's a lot of waterfront single family home sales that took place in high dollar, which there were a couple in August, this is really going to throw the whole number. It's why I use this as something for you guys to look at. I don't want you to put a ton of stock in it, but we went from 338 up to 417. So on paper, there's a 23% increase in the average price per square foot. Again, be careful with that number. We deal in a relatively small area. At the end of this video, we'll talk about how that area is likely going to be growing, but anyways, that's your average price per square foot number. Let's kind of go out of order here for the month, because price per square foot and then followed up by median, it's kind of one and the same. I want to jump over to average days on market in the sale versus original price. Year over year, things are selling for 84% of what they were listed for in the beginning. I've said this a few times, I'll continue to say it. If you price your property over the market, nothing good is going to come out of it. You're going to have to make adjustments downwards. I think pricing competitively out of the gate is truly the way to go here. You also want to note we went from 105 days on market to 116 days on market. That 116 days is, you know, we really want that number. If you're a seller anyways, that number really, you want it down significantly lower than where we are now. You know, again, real estate is local. You'll hear about or read about nationally some markets where day one when something goes on the market, it's getting sold. That's crazy. It's just, it's not happening here unless you're pricing very, very well, or unless I'm your sales agent, because I did sell a property in one day last month. So, you know, just take note if you're a seller. I keep saying this, be prepared for a 5-6 month ride from the time you put it on the market till the time you're actually closed and you have the check in hand. Once you consider financing, time on market, and all that good stuff, that's just kind of where we sit. So anyways, let's go ahead and we're going to pop over to median pricing. And the reason I wanted to put this next to the days on market is because I'll tell you this, if I went on a listing presentation last year and I went on it today, 12 months later, for the most part, I would tell you sales have been flat. We're not seeing this uptick. Again, there are some segments of the market where prices have been growing, but really for the most part, it shows me flat year over year. Each presentation that I go on when I'm pulling comps, I see it again and again and again, flat year over year, flat year over year. So I wanted to kind of put a fine point on that and make sure you guys are kind of in sync with me. If you're a seller or if you're a buyer also, it's something important to know. Again, it's going to depend on the area that you're looking in, price point that you're looking in, but something to take note of. Months of inventory. God, this is my favorite slide because it really tells you everything you need to know about what's going on in the market, right? The last 90 days, you're seeing inventory rise, right? Sales slow, inventories rise. 6.6 months, 8.8, 10.3. Year over year, up 9.6%. From 9.4 to 10.3 months of inventory. But again, that 90 days, really kind of pay attention to that. Not good news if you're a seller. Good news if you're a buyer and you're looking to kind of have some wiggle room on negotiation. For the umpteenth time in this posting to tell you that also depends on price point. If you're looking for a low dollar single family home, there's very few days on market, and the pricing is ultra competitive. Different segments of the market, seeing different things. So please give me a call. Let me know what segment of the market you're interested in, whether you're a buyer or a seller, and we can kind of get specific and talk about that. So those are the numbers. Again, we're going to miss a whole month of data, so you guys aren't going to hear from me next month. A few things I do want to point out. First and foremost, a lot of you that watch this blog own a condo in downtown that you rent out to a tenant. I want to point out that credit quality continues to diminish in the new buildings that are coming up. Another 4,700 units are coming to market. If you walk into those new construction buildings and you ask, hey, if I want to become a tenant here, what do I need? Most of them are telling you $500 deposit and you're fine. Credit's not really much of an issue. Maybe they ask for additional month of deposit. Where if you're in some of the buildings downtown, you need first, last, and security, and in a lot of cases, a common area deposit for the building. It's making your rentals look almost non-competitive. So a lot of these are becoming cases of having to take a first and a security instead of having to take first, last, and security, or first, last, and security less the common area deposit that has to be paid to the association. This is a rapidly evolving trend. As more and more of these buildings come online, I think you are going to see your price cannibalized. I don't think your renewals on rentals are going to be as high as they are right now. And I think a lot of you are feeling that. I'm seeing it. I know personally when I'm listing a rental now, it's taking a whole lot more to get at least. We're having to give concessions and price cuts. So that being said, it also may not be a bad time if you bought right, you bought during the downturn, this may be the time to start thinking about getting out of the market, disposing of the property, if you can't handle either a lot of vacancy or a pullback in rental rates. So something to think about there. Another thing I want to bring up, I'm seeing more and more finance deals. For a long time, we just didn't see deals that were financed. Now it's coming up all over the place, but also I'm seeing deals that are financed actually closing, and this applies in condos, which for a long time there was a big issue with. If you had a finance buyer going into a condo, really wasn't happening. Yes, they still need a significant down payment. However, they're closing, so don't be as scared as you used to be. If for a while it was cash buyers only. The sellers would only look at somebody who was a cash buyer that was in a condo. Now you can really kind of loosen that up and look towards those financed offers. I'm encouraging my sellers to do that more and more. Third thing I want to point out, whether justified or not, I do feel that insurance companies will use the storm as a hedge and kind of say, hey, look, storm just happened, and so we have to raise our premiums. Kind of a prediction and not a fun one. I do think that whether you're in a condo or single family home, you are going to see windstorm rates likely rise because of this Category 1 storm that really didn't hurt that many properties, but see the writing on the wall for that. So many storms that were kicking around. I think that you should probably prepare for that ugly truth, which will probably come out in next year's premiums. That's what I got for you this month. As always, if there's anything you guys want or need, please call or email me. I'm always around. Love to talk real estate. Love to go get a cup of coffee. Love to go get a beer with any of you guys that want to talk about real estate. So hope all is well again. Won't see you next month. Final thought and final thing for some of you guys to give me feedback on. I'm really considering expanding this blog to all of Fort Lauderdale and getting out of just downtown. The reason being, we really need some better data and not such herky-jerky data. But if I do that, it's also going to take you guys that are on the higher end and mix you up with a lot of properties that are kind of west and northwest of the area that I'm used to working in, so it's going to drag down overall pricing. So if you have any thoughts on that, let me know as well. Again, everybody, take care, and we'll see you soon.